Today's 8x8 full body blast was inspired by the original iron guru and celebrity trainer, Vince Gironda. Some interesting things about Gironda is he was quoted as saying, and if you've never seen it before, make sure you click on the physical culture playlist on our channel here, and you can see the biography we did on Vince Gironda. But some interesting things just to refresh is he's quoted as saying bodybuilding is 85% nutrition. Vince was also an early proponent of low carb dieting, and he recommended the use of numerous supplements before they were popular, including desiccated liver tablets, vitamin C tablets, and digestive enzymes. Another interesting thing is Vince said that large amounts of fertile eggs were the equivalent of Dianabol in effectiveness, even though he's staunchly against the use of steroids. Some unorthodox training ideas Vince had was, unlike other physique trainers at the time, he did not prescribe any back squats. His gym had no squat racks. He stated that it caused the overdevelopment of the glutes and hips relative to the thighs. The exception would be female trainees who needed more glute development. So obviously we don't agree with every single thing that Vince said, but he's a huge influence and someone we learned from. Okay, so he called this workout the honest workout. And the reason it was called honest is because you're gonna have to take a little pig iron off the bar, because you're doing 8 sets of 8 with a 30-second break. So you don't want, we're not gonna try to make a goal of shortening the rest interval. So we're picking 7 full body exercises, and we're doing 8 sets of 8, resting 30 seconds. So we started JJ about 50% of what he could do normally. So if you're, if you've never trained this way at all, you might want to start closer to like 40%, 8 sets of 8, 30 seconds break. And I got an interesting story about this. So in 2012, you go back to some of our bodybuilding playlists, particularly on chest and back, you can see where I was working with Branch Warren and Johnny Jackson in preparation for the 2012 Olympia. Okay, so I was done competing and all that at this time, so I was reading up on Gironda. I was like, I'm gonna try some of these 8x8 workouts, and I was only training, I was literally in the gym at that point at Metroflex 13 to 14 hours a day. So I wanted to keep my workouts short, and I'd only been doing like real heavy training at that point, so I started doing the 8x8 three times a week. Didn't change my diet at all. So someone in one of the videos that was posted by Johnny on YouTube said, yeah, you're looking pretty big to me. Well, I wasn't even having any serious physique or strength goals, just training, and stepped on the scale. I was 20 pounds heavier about 6 weeks later without intentionally changing my diet or anything. So it was crazy how effective it is. So obviously you're gonna have, obviously there's an amazing metabolic ramping and fat loss benefits, but if you've never trained this war, you've trained more like a powerlifter, you can obviously get some huge hypertrophy benefits. Like in my case, it was a total shock because I'd never done anything like that before. And so some other things you want to keep in mind when doing these, some exercises to avoid. I would avoid like deadlifts, bent over rows, things like good mornings, things like that could potentially, hurt your back. I would also avoid front squats, because like front squats, you start going past, like you start doing the higher reps, your rhomboids are going to tire out before you're, isometrically before your legs are. So you're kind of defeating the purpose there. I would also, for the most part, recommend unilateral movements. However, made an exception today when JJ did the lean away dumbbell lateral raises. What we did, instead of taking the 30-second break, he'd go 8 reps on one side, 8 reps on the other. So the break from, say he did his right side, the break between he did the right side again would be transitioning the dumbbell, doing the left side, transitioning it back. So does that pan out to exactly 30 seconds, but hell did not freeze over? Correct. So what did you think of the workout?
Well, as he said before, naturally I'm drawn to the hypertrophy aspect of the workout. So with this workout, it's, as he said, it's more of a metabolic phase, more of a metabolic workout. And you have a tendency to want to increase your weight, increase the load that you're working with, but you have to, as you said, humble yourself when you're working with this weight. And the 50%, the 40% he was describing was, if you've ever done a 1 rep max or a 2 rep max, you want to do 50% of what that weight is. And even with that the potential to be a heavier load than you can move in those 8 sets of 8 reps. As far as the workout, I mean, it's a, kick my ass.
That's kind of pump that'll take you from the day shift to the night shift if you're working the stage at Chippendales, regardless of how stiff the competition is. Perfect.
I mean, overall, it's a great workout, and it's something that I will do in the future.
Yeah, and you can do this for, say, like anywhere from like 4 to 6 weeks, 3 times a week. And what we're talking about, or even twice a week, but what I'm saying is a good way to keep in mind with, like, say we're doing it, because this is a mixture of, you got to use compound and isolation movements. So for instance, if JJ did side delts today with the lean lateral raises, next time he could do a rear delt movement. So next time, instead of doing, hack squats, he could do leg curls or something like that. It's going to be more focused on the hamstring. So that's what you got to keep in mind with that kind of stuff. So, if you're training chest, you might go isolation one time, compound the next, incline, flat, whatever, but you can keep kind of moving it around and fixing it like that. You can, if you've never trained this way, this is the interesting part. If you've always done like, low rep, low volume kind of powerlifting routines, if you did this, you can actually bulk up pretty well in this workout. If you did it, if you gotta have to eat though. I mean,
you're supplement your diet.
and so, I mean, because he did it out. That workout took slightly right at about an hour. That's 56 sets during that workout. So you could also do this like, body part splits and stuff like this. But I think it works very effectively for this purpose with doing a full body workout. Come on, 2 more. Finish strong. Here we go. Yep. If oftentimes you feel in the middle of your training session, you're checking Instagram or something, what you need to do is you need to take that phone and you need to shove it. Like I think Johnny Paycheck said, take this job and shove it. I'll say take this phone and shove it. You need to fully concentrate. So that's like a lot of people go in these bizarre retreats in the wilderness, and all this kind of crap, or do it, which there's nothing wrong with. I'm just saying, like, or do, feel like they need to skydive or like ride around the block 100 miles around a motorcycle with no helmet, just to concentrate in the moment. So you don't have to do anything that crazy. It's going to kill yourself. If you want to get like sort of that just focus and centeredness, try this workout. You cannot concentrate on anything except what you're doing if you're approaching it with full testicular fortitude.